I remember the first time I met Shirley was at an informal grouping of vice-chancellors that used to meet every so often to discuss fundraising, which shows her commitment to fundraising right from the beginning. And we met again for lunch and talked about the role of a vice-chancellor in fundraising, and then Shirley really embraced that at Loughborough and showed great leadership in her own institution. But of course she also gave great support to Case, and finally of course she was the author of the Pearce report, which has been so important, particularly around training, but around other aspects of fundraising. So many congratulations to you, Shirley. It's fantastic news, it's thoroughly deserved, and now I'm sick of the fact that everyone talks about the Pearce report and nobody talks about the Thomas report.
So I've known Dame Shirley for quite a number of years, in fact, from when she was Vice-Chancellor at Loughborough University. And Nottingham and Loughborough worked together on a number of initiatives. So I was well aware of her leadership qualities as a VC, not just in running a successful university, but also in building capacity for advancement. But you don't get an awards as prestigious as this from Case just for being a good Vice-Chancellor. You've got to do other things as well. And I think it's impressive the contribution that Shirley's made to the sector overall, not just as a member of the Case Board of Trustees and the work she did on that board, but of course the broader contribution through the 2 reviews she's done. One on fundraising, and I saw that as a natural kind of successor to the Thomas report in raising the visibility again of the role that philanthropy must play in the future, but also raising the level of ambition that we should be in the UK aspiring to. The second report's much more about how we can deliver that. It's much more about workforce development, and although development directors and other senior practitioners aren't quite like Premier League strikers, certainly in terms of what they pay them, we are not far off in terms of scarcity value. And I think that report has given us a much greater awareness of what we need to do to try and grow that particular workforce, because organic growth has to be an important part of the solution in terms of building capacity across the sector. So I really do think that report has laid some really important foundations for development of this workforce, and I think it'll have genuine impact over the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years.
Well, Shirley arrived at Loughborough University in 2006, and over the next 7 years executed a step change in the culture for advancement at Loughborough University. And she was a true champion. She set the tone internally to change the culture. She set up an advancement committee to oversee the delivery of the advancement agenda. She embedded it within a new strategic plan, and she placed it within the annual planning cycle.
I think the first time I remember seeing Shirley in connection with advancement was when she came on the Case Europe Canada tour, and that was a particularly lively year. And I remember seeing the light bulb switch on for her as she realised that this was a set of attitudes and approaches and expertise that she could make work for Loughborough, so that she then came back and used what she had learned about development and alumni relations and communications as part of her toolkit for advancing Loughborough. So she became, I think, a champion through her own experience there and then, and was always thereafter willing to put up a hand and say that was an important moment for me, and talk to her other Vice-Chancellors about why this was worth doing.
Shirley Pearce has been an absolute star for advancement at Loughborough University. When she first came here, she led a strategic investment, firstly in marketing and then in development and alumni relations, that actually absolutely transformed Loughborough's position in advancement. What she really did more than anything was embed that into the university. She went on the study tour of Canada with Case and immediately sent all 3 faculty deans also to the Development for Deans conference in Canada to pick up the things that she'd learned. But more than just the strategic stuff, I really wanted to mention that with Shirley, it's all about the people. And as advancement professionals, you will all know that actually it's people that's at the centre of this. Everybody who met Shirley and engaged with her just enjoyed that. And there was so much fun and laughter in the Vice-Chancellor's office and around the things she did. This was engaging and brought people to work closely with the university.
The really big impact on the sector, of course, are the two reports that she chaired for HEFCE, the 2012 Pearce report and the 2014 Daughter of Pearce, or whatever we call it, the sequel on the workforce development. And Shirley is a joy to work with in those kind of ways. She's quite remarkable as a leader, and it's highly suitable she's getting this award.
Today at the university we're still benefiting from the foundations which Shirley laid, and I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you for Shirley for everything that she did.